Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do?
Papa.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
Hey.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. She got teenagers.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a silver truck.
A gray truck, and he came around the corner, and I was in the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming. And I'm like, that's...
She got all worried that some.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
I'm so sorry.
How did it scare you, though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody?
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did. When you
It's
was
his
on the
fault.
porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
So, guys, you don't know how disturbing this clip is. This went on around Christmas time, I believe. And this goes on in Ohio. And the black man who's probably on the thumbnail that you guys see that walked up, he's actually a real estate developer, from my understanding. And he lives in this neighborhood. And as he said, he was looking at the Christmas lights. Nobody was chasing you or anything like that. He was just looking at the Christmas lights. And then you decide to do this. You don't live here. No, you don't. You don't look like you should be in this neighborhood. And then you leave your thing on there. You're ringing the doorbell there. The ring light captures everything. You pick your stuff up, not knowing that you're being recorded, I guess. And then you leave, then run off screaming. Now, I hate to say this because a lot of people will say there is no racism in this world, or especially in the United States. Ohio is a different breed for those of you who are from Ohio, depending on what town. But to go that far and just start screaming, she knew the power of her voice. She knew the power of her voice. She's trying to say that this man chased her, followed her. Nobody chased you. Okay? Nobody chased you. You go in somebody's and try to pretend that it's your place, and then you're like, and of course, probably in her mind, what if he does live here? Of course, what if he does live here? Because you knew that chances are if somebody was driving slow, that they were probably trying to pull up into their driveway. And then you get out when he tells you that he lives there. No, you don't. And then you leave and proceed to scream. Also calling 911 looks like on her phone. But that's a whole different story, man. And she said that, as you guys will see, I'm about to play her apology clip where you don't see one tear drop. White women, y'all know the power of your tears. A lot of brothers have been deleted based off a lie, which she proceeded to tell a lie and said that he chased, and had the husband come back. And he's trying to laugh it off and giggle it off. And the whole time sounding, as somebody said, how some folks will make it no matter what, they'll be the victim. I'm the victim. Well, you should have told me this was your house. You didn't say that this was your house. You were just like, what are you doing here? This is crazy. This is crazy. Then you say, well, how dare you say that this is racism? But we're going to get into her apology video, guys. Let's go.
Chasing her, following her is what I said. I use word chasing. Following me. And so she said, I jumped out of the car and I said, I'm so sorry. I said, literally, I was pretending that your house was my house. I was walking up the driveway, and then I was like turning in. I was pretending that it was yours. And she goes, yeah, that was my husband. And so he ends up coming out and he's like, I told you this was my house. And at that point, I literally started, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I am so sorry. And I told him, I said, sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And then, I said, this is your house. That was my words. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, this is your house. I said, I truly kept thinking, like, maybe this is his house. Maybe this is his house.
You said, no, it's not.
So I told you this was your house. And I said, you have to understand. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was such an awkward encounter.
No.
I said, the truck was like starting to slow behind me. And I'm out here with.
Did y'all hear her saying all of that? All she did was say, no, it's not. You don't look like you belong here. This isn't your place. Then proceeds tell her kid to go. Just lying, bro. And like they said, look at the comments, guys, as it pops up on the screen.
With my little girl and my son, and I said, I'm a mom, and it was dark. And he said, but I told you that this was my house. He says, I was driving slow because I was looking at my Christmas lights. And once again, I said, I am so sorry. And they truly, they did not take my apology.
As they shouldn't.
And that night, I went home. And so if you guys saw on Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken and it was a really scary night. I've always shared everything on Instagram. And so that night, after that whole instance happened, I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry. And I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this fight or flight. From the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was all of these different emotions.
It's an honest mistake.
And so I'm
The
sitting at
world's
home,
a scary place.
literally having this meltdown. And I kept telling John I was so sorry. I felt really stupid. And so on the way home, I forgot to say that the cop was driving around our neighborhood, and I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. The cop was driving around our neighborhood, and I stopped him. We stopped him, and I jumped over.
Better safe than sorry. So if he would have got deleted, they would have been perfectly fine. You would have been better safe than sorry, huh? With that whole BS lie that those lies you're telling.
Rolled the window down, and I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was his house. It was a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry. He was like, it's okay. I'm glad everything's fine. I was like, yes, it's fine. So I ended up, we went home. And that night, when I got home, I had tears, and I was making a cup of coffee. And if you guys know me, I put everything on Instagram. I talk all the time. It was an innocent mistake. I felt really stupid. I absolutely was crushed I felt like they thought I was stupid. I already felt stupid. I truly felt stupid.
I'm pretty sure your husband felt you were stupid too, because probably what you told him is that this was a black guy that was chasing you. You don't know. I left the thing there, come back with me. And then he had to come there and joke it off and this chick is dumb. She's doing some stuff like this. Just then went down, especially when they saw the part with her screaming, running off. I'm pretty sure when it hit the news. Wow.
Like I said to them on the porch, I kept thinking maybe this is his house. And then I'm running and screaming at the top of my lungs. And so, yeah, I felt dumb for sure. So I went on Instagram, in my story, I still have it archived, and I have tears, and I'm making a cup of coffee. And I said, I was like, man, you talk about a night. I'm like, man, my night just completely took a left turn. And I was super scary. I was like, I'll have to fill you guys in later. So I went live that night. And then I went live again the next morning. And I have to tell you guys, I have been on social media long enough to know that there's a lot of scrutiny. And so by me going live, I did not think that I was doing anything wrong. I was sharing the story of what happened, that better safe than sorry, how scary it was, just what I went through. That's the only reason that I went live. At the end, I talked about how I felt stupid and how this couple, twice I apologized and nothing came of it. And so, yeah, that crushed me. I did feel really stupid. So that is the story of that night. Many of you guys were on those lives, and so you guys know the exact emotions and state that I was in. So we are here, and it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less than that John was sitting in the living room, and he called me the day prior, and he asked me a question about, did you ever say he said, did you tell the woman that he was black? And I said, no, I told her that I thought he was a young white man. He's like, I thought so. And I was like, that was really weird that he called and asked me that. So the next morning, I was doing my morning reading, and he sits down in front of me, and he's like, we have to talk. And so he told me that there had been a letter floating around our neighborhood that had been posted in our mailroom that had said something about a racist profiling in the neighborhood. And so, of course, you throw racism into the mix, it gets really yucky. And that was the furthest thing from what it was, to the point of literally we have a handwritten letter from the woman's house that I went to. I'm trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me standing on the porch telling John when he asked, are you sure it wasn't a black man? And I said, I think it is a young white man. But she wrote a letter. She was like, I'm happy to speak on your behalf. You absolutely told me that you thought it was a white man.
You thought it was a white man. You had a whole full-on exchange with him and everything in his yard, and you didn't know that it was a black man at all. You could not tell. He's talking to you face to face. You're looking at him. So if that's the case, you have to be one of the worst eyewitnesses ever, as far as that goes. And of course, your husband's gonna be like, "Are you sure you didn't say that?" Before the ring footage, you can say whatever you want until the ring footage comes out and we really see what was really going on. But hey, let's get on to the rest of this clip. Let's go.
I'm happy to speak on your behalf. You absolutely told me that you thought it was a white man. And so we had 2 days in a row, the letter was posted in the mailroom saying that there was a racist profiling, not mentioning our name, but it was in reference to that night. It was taken down 2 times. And then I believe there was an email sent to our HOA then asking for this letter to be sent to all the residents in our community. And after a video was sent of me, they decided to not share the message to the whole neighborhood. And so maybe 4 days ago, both videos of me, praise God, the other one, the one of me apologizing, was posted as well, which I do appreciate the transparency there. But once again, the videos were posted in our neighborhood page, attaching racism and profiling to, my name wasn't said, but the video was very clear of me on the Ring doorbell with my daughter, with me looking at the man saying, "Is this your home?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "I don't believe that it is." And because of those words came out of my mouth, and because he was a black man, I have been pointed as being racist.
They're saying that's ridiculous. That's not ridiculous.
It was very dark. Yeah, so, and like I said,
My thing is, why would you say it's not his home? If he's saying it's his home, why would you say it's not his home? You haven't explained that. Why would you think it's not his home? Interesting. Like, if somebody says, "This is my house, I'm in my yard," just like the police, you see a lot of videos, the police will be like, "You don't live here." I just like, "This is my house."
I truly, like 60 seconds later, ran to the woman's house and I told her that I thought he was a younger white guy. So the neighborhood, yes, it was posted on the neighborhood page. I've had some neighbors who have been very, very gracious and have reached out to us, and they know that the integrity of my family, that is not who we are. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of other people who have kind of rallied behind what's happening. And so the page is crazy. There's been a lot happening within our neighborhood. The posts were taken down. I never requested the post to be taken down. I did go into our neighborhood Facebook page and I went live and I publicly apologized to the homeowners once again. And I will also, I try, like truly, like if there's anything that I can apologize for, I will. There was never racial intent, ever. What I will apologize for is sorry for sharing the story of me being scared. I could absolutely be slower to speak.
He's the victim.
I was truly just sharing the story. And so I'm sorry that I didn't necessarily think about your heart and the way that maybe could have hurt your heart. But it was never to the neighborhood. It was me just sharing the story about a man and being a woman and my babies and
It looks like you're the one who kicked all this off. And you probably, I haven't seen it live, but I'm pretty sure you probably said some stuff and you were probably afraid. And woman's power, you have to protect without saying it was a black man, you have to protect your babies. There's people in this neighborhood, these things happen, such and such. And you probably were making yourself look like the victim in this situation. So you just got checked. And of course, nobody's going to accept your apology. People don't have to accept your apology. As much as you can't look at this as being racist, a lot of people will. And I'm pretty sure when you watched that footage and you were shocked, how dare they keep this footage? This does look pretty bad. Of course it does.
The whole thing. And if you guys don't know, because I think it's important to say it, there has been multiple instances where I have actually not these scenarios, but I've actually been pursued. And there was the man in Houston that I shared about as well. And that's why I just love to give context. I love to share. I just more so like as a mom, like in those lives, I said I wouldn't undo what I did. The way that I acted, the way I reacted, I would do it a million times over. Because what if that really would have happened? When I was in Houston, Texas, I had a sex offender, a registered sex offender profile us. He knew where I lived. He knew what time my husband went to the gym. He knew what car my husband drove. And he came to my house when my husband was gone.
Not one tear.
I was in Houston, Texas, and I was followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
See, she's got there.
But I
she got
showed
her
up at the
cheerleaders in the
door,
comments.
and I said that I was sorry 2 times. People are going as far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason that is. I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man. So
Right.
I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for any of it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood. And then I posted in the comments multiple times when people were just saying, like, disgusting and just tearing down our family's name. I once again came on and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to reconcile, like, I will. I'm so sorry I could have ever offended you. And so I've absolutely apologized multiple times. It's not been accepted. So now I woke up today and John starts sending me screenshots of people going on all of my social media channels. And, I had to make my pages private. On one of the videos of us talking about opening our store, there were over 360 comments, some of which absolutely were from our members, but I would say over 300 of them within a 10-minute span were from people coming to absolutely attack us, saying anything and everything you can imagine, from hating on my faith, tying that to racism and me not being who I say I am, to my family, to be on a lookout, to our business is destroyed, to you can imagine everything that's being said.
I still don't see any real accountability other than her saying she apologized after she getting caught or whatever and coming back with her husband and still trying to blame it. Y'all saw on the tape, she was still blaming it on the dude. You should have told me this was your house and all this foolishness. You have to understand where I'm coming from. I don't have to understand nothing. You're in my yard. You're inconveniencing me with all this foolishness, and then got the nerve to go live. Like, I wonder sometimes how people are so detached from reality and so clueless on how their actions affect other people, especially the way this world is. And then try to say it's not. Is there ever any incidents where it's not racist? I just want to know. Just my thoughts. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.